Get ready for the Teen Summit Podcast. Presenting the teen co-host, Aisha.
Huh? Are you crazy?
Naya.
He's a what now? What is he?
And presenting your host, Rachel Bernadette.
Right? We're in there. All right.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Teen Summit Podcast. Last week on episode 20, we continued our self-awareness in series with self-awareness and culture. We discussed the importance of being self-aware of your own culture and heritage. We also discussed the difference between your ethnic status and how being aware of that can make a difference in your life. Today, we are super excited to be back on our 21st episode. Tonight, we're doing a Thanksgiving special. We will be touching on interesting, fun subjects on Thanksgiving. Now, on to the intro reel.
The Laffy presents Teen Summit Podcast with your host, Miss Ray. Youth with passion. Youth who speak their mind. Listen to the voices of our youth who care.
Hey everyone, Aisha here. And for our first segment, we will be talking about fun facts about Thanksgiving. Now, the first Thanksgiving event that ever occurred was in 1621. I can't even imagine 1621.
Girl, me too. I was like 1621.
You were not even, who was alive?
I was trying to say, you were not even alive. I definitely was not even alive. I know I'm older than y'all, but
I don't even think my grandma was thought of.
No, who was alive back then?
Or my great-grandmother.
Great, I don't know.
People were alive.
People, including pilgrims who sailed from England and landed on Plymouth Rock over like 2 months later. I think when they say 2 months later, I'm thinking March, but the calendar wasn't even started back then either yet. So, yeah. And they barely survived their first winter. So that was a crazy event. But then two tribes called Squanto and Wampanoag taught them how to exploit fish and, create games and plant corn and squash. And that helped them survive in the new area and live around other hostile tribes. And Thanksgiving for Native American Indians was a time where they had given up their land in return for gifts that were full of diseases and other detrimental factors. And it was really just a time for them to soak everything in and be grateful for what they had and what they were given, and really just, spend time with themselves. However, Thanksgiving for white settlers who were there at the time was an event that we are all familiar with. And it's a time celebrating with your friends and family and being thankful that they're still around to do things together. So it's kind of similar, but the reasons behind it are very different, especially for the Native American Indians who, originated this event. So yeah, So my question for you guys is, since each family, not just the white settlers and Native American Indians, had different Thanksgiving traditions, cultures, and reasons why they celebrate this holiday, what is your opinion on the contrast? Or why do you celebrate Thanksgiving?
For me, I celebrate Thanksgiving just to give thanks to like my family, to God, just to like be thankful and like be able to be with everyone, like, just to be with your family and be together, just so that like we can all talk about the things that, we're thankful for and we appreciate.
So over the years, I know I'm a little bit older than you all, but over the years, I started to really have more real conversations with family at times where we gather together around the origins of holidays and the origins of why things were created. Not to say that, we shouldn't do them, but I think to just bring awareness about what's the source of these. So like Aisha, as you were saying, like Thanksgiving for Native Indigenous peoples, where they had to give up something in order to give up their land, in order to receive things. And as you shared, the things that they received were not favorable. They received things that had lots of disease and other detrimental factors. So Thanksgiving for me now has been a time to open up conversations around the past and how can we as the younger generation recreate new traditions, right? So one new tradition that I do is a gratitude circle, which we'll do in a minute. And also going to different traditions or different cultures, like houses on how they celebrate. So oftentimes, like I have friends who would do a yearly Thanksgiving walk, and they're not related to me, like they're just friends. So I try to learn more about how other cultures celebrate this time as a way to adopt it into my own and make it something new. So that's how my idea of Thanksgiving has evolved over the years.
That's great. I never really thought of actually looking into how other people celebrated Thanksgiving until this episode. And it really made me think of what people are thankful for. Because when I'm at school and we have to do like a circle or something like that, where people talk about what they're thankful of, everyone says family and friends. That's literally it. Like that's the basic generic answer. And I'm just like, it's time to reflect, like, especially this year, everything was crazy. We need to like dig deeper into what we're really thankful for, because although our family and friends are very much important and needed in our lives, what about you specifically? Like, what are you thankful for in your life? And not just the people around you, but every element and factor that is around you as well. And yeah, I feel like a lot of people need to dig deeper into what they're thankful for, because we're all living, we're all doing something, like, it's really important, So yeah.
And to that point, Naya, I don't know if you're going to unmute. Were you going to say something?
Yeah, okay, to that point, like, what is your favorite Thanksgiving traditions? Like, I know everyone has, like, not everyone, but a lot of people have their own little tradition of, like, what they do every year, or, like, if they go out somewhere, if they, like, travel. What are you guys' traditions or just things that you do on Thanksgiving or go places?
So Thanksgiving for me really consists of staying home, because personally, I feel like Thanksgiving is just a time where you're supposed to not be in restaurants or out. Like, you're just supposed to like be home and really come together as a family and just be with one another. So we stay home, we pray, we listen to a lot of music, and it's just like, it's really fun. And the food is great. The food is amazing. I cannot emphasize that enough, y'all. The food is top tier. But, yeah, I really enjoy the one time of the year where we can all come together and be happy. And it's like there's no negativity or anything like that. So yeah, that's like the basic thing that we do as a family during Thanksgiving.
Yeah, great question. What I can say is something that we typically do, and again, I've become a rebel. Like I'm really trying myself personally to change things up, because if I'm only coming together with my family and being like everyone's all, oh, lovey-dovey one time a year, like there's 364 days to like love up on people and show gratitude. But one thing that we always do is usually my family from New York comes down to Maryland, and they have specific meals that they like to bring. My family's from the Caribbean. I think I've shared this in previous episodes. So they'll bring their cultural foods down. And then we also have a lot of African descent friends who bring food over. So our table is usually very multicultural, and it's not just stereotypical foods. And I think we'll talk a little bit later in the episode around like what are some of our favorite foods around Thanksgiving. So I'll save my thoughts for then. But that is a tradition that we typically have of, someone else, our family, coming down to see us.
I think for me, I don't really specifically have a tradition, but like depending on the year, we'll like either go somewhere to like be with different parts of our family. So like one year we went down to I think it's South. I always get the South and North Carolina mixed up. I never remember which part that I went to, but we go to Carolina and we just we went to Carolina and we hung out with my mom's friend from a while ago, like from a long time ago. And we kind of like had dinner at Thanksgiving with them, reconnected, which was really cool. And then like sometimes I have to go to my grandparents' house, and then sometimes just stay home. Like I used to say, stay home, uh, stay with your family. It just depends. I think for me, it just depends on like the year. And Miss Ray, you mentioned a good point. What are you guys' favorite food? I know a lot of people have like their favorite food or favorite dessert. Miss Ray, I think you should answer first because you were like really wanted to answer this question.
So I came prepared, and maybe this will give y'all a minute to like look it up. But my favorite food is actually from Trinidad, and it's called doubles. And I'm going to show you a picture of it because
Hold on. I gotta stop you right there.
Oh wait, yes, I forgot. You know all about.
I love doubles. Oh my god, my aunt turned me on to those. Every time we go somewhere, I'm like, can somebody give me some doubles? Like, I need doubles. Like,
right.
I thought I was the only one. Oh my gosh, I love doubles.
So that's also another beautiful part about sharing your traditions out publicly, because what I've realized is that we have more in common with each other than we think. And oftentimes when you are like in your zone with your own family doing your own thing, you don't really see what else is happening. And when you can find the common ground, you're able to build off of that. So anyways, these are doubles, and doubles is like a doughy, think of it like a pita bread, for those of you who know pita, Mediterranean inspired. And it's made with like chickpea flour and curry powder, and it's deep fried. And then the sauce, well, the inside is chickpeas with like a curry sauce, and it's a hand dish. And so if you come from a culture where you don't use your hands with things, this might be a little bit foreign. So for example, in Morocco, I don't know if you know, but you cannot use your right hand for eating. You have to use your left hand. I think it's either right hand or left hand, because one hand is considered like a dirty hand where you do other stuff with it. And so when they have these communal meals, if you dip something with your right hand, everybody looks at you like, we ain't eating that. So anyways, it's similar. It's cool to know that, different countries have used their hands for things. So anyways, that's one of my favorite meals. Double.
I think it's funny that you mentioned the thing about Morocco, because I went to Morocco, and I mean, we were only there for like a hot minute because we were like traveling, we were going to Africa, West Africa. And that just reminded me, like, because you didn't stay that long, I didn't really like know none of that. We didn't really eat there. And when you just said that, I was like, if we stayed there any longer, I would not have known that. Knowledge is power for real.
Literally.
Yeah. So like actually just to fact check it, it's the reverse. So if you're left-handed, you may have a little bit of challenge in Morocco. Eating is done with the right hand. Left is considered unclean. And so in Moroccan culture, everything is like, handheld, you family style. So
I have a story time. So y'all know I'm Sierra Leonean, okay? So the purest African, if it's not Nigerian. I it was one day and I took something with my left hand. My grandmother was giving me something and I grabbed it with my left hand. I can't say this for YouTube, but that day I learned my lesson. Never again. I would never do that again. Always with the right hand because it's seen as a form of disrespect. And, once it gets started, it just doesn't end. So, you really have to just keep things with your right hand.
We make sure when I'm around your family, I'm making sure I'm using my right hand. Yeah. I might slip up.
Exactly. But it's okay. If you come around, I'll let you know. I got you. I got all the hats.
Yeah, that's also a good point. One that you mentioned, like this is in different countries too. Like you mentioned that Sierra Leone, Morocco. I'm sure if we actually had conversations with people, this is not unique to like our culture, but also what you said, Aisha, which I love is, you said if Naya comes over, you'll like let her know. I feel like that's important in terms of just cultural education because you go places and think of someone who immigrates here to the US who may not have this is what we do in US. Like they're coming from a brand new place and have no idea about what the norms are. And for those of you listening, norms are essentially what are the normal things that people typically do. It doesn't make it right or wrong. It just means it's the norm. And so I feel like having those buddies and having someone that you can confide in and ask in a safe, non-judgmental way that you just genuinely don't know. I think that's exactly good.
And a part of that, my mom always tells me it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And a lot of people, I see you. A lot of people have good intentions, but they don't really know how to approach conversations like that. And I feel like because of that, they choose not to address it. So a lot of people get lost in others' cultures and in other, situations that they think aren't normal, but are normal, or are normal, but aren't normal, So, it's just keeping each other, informative, but being nice about it. But while I'm on the topic, my favorite dish, we just switch conversations. So like, I don't know.
It's so, I don't know. To me, that's how conversations should be. You kind of go off a little bit and then you come back and it all ties together in the end. So.
Yeah. So my favorite dish is jollof rice. And Sierra Leone has the best jollof rice in Africa.
Hold up, wait. I know there's from Nigeria.
No.
Nigeria versus Sierra Leone. I know that's is Ghana involved in that too?
Ghana. Doesn't ring a bell. Doesn't ring a bell. I don't know. So this is what it looks like. This is the Nigerian version. I don't know why, but every time I search up jollof rice, I have to put Sierra Leonean at the side so they can give me Sierra Leonean jollof rice and not Nigerian jollof rice. But for the episode purposes, this is what Nigerian jollof rice looks like. Okay, the Sierra Leone jollof rice is way better than this. The rice is not broken up. We do put bay leaves in our rice and we put tomato paste. I don't know why they're talking about tomato and pepper puree. We don't know what that is in Africa. We use a mixture of things, a lot of seasonings. I can't name all of them because I'm not a cook, but I was in the kitchen today, but that doesn't matter. Anyways, this is what the dish looks like. It's the best African dish ever. And come to Sierra Leone so you can get the real stuff. Don't go to Nigeria. You'll be scammed.
See, while y'all talking about like This is from like where y'all are from. I got the most classic favorite.
Don't say mashed
I
potatoes.
cannot have Thanksgiving without some sweet potatoes, okay? And not no normal sweet potatoes, okay? You need to bake the sweet potatoes. You need to, put it in that, I know y'all had that little glass little thingy. Little, I'm talking about the little glass one. Let me put the marshmallows on top.
Okay, no, wait. I'm sorry. Let me let you get your spotlight. Hold on.
They have to be like that, okay? It cannot be some normal sweet potatoes that just plop on the plate. No, we're not doing that around here, okay? Come on, get it right, please. If y'all want to talk about, let me help y'all, because y'all gotta understand what I mean.
I would have accepted mashed potatoes. I would have accepted, what is it called? Macaroni and cheese. Sweet potatoes.
Don't cover my sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes.
Yeah. Sorry, not yet.
I think what's the hesitancy?
I am a plain Jane. I am the naye. I am the plop it on the plate and just sit. Just give me a plate.
Like this. This is what I mean. This.
Do we want to see this image?
This
that looks like marshmallows.
Perfect.
It is marshmallows.
This is how we like it, okay? This is how we like it.
Speaking eyes, okay?
Okay, this is how I like it. This is how we like it as in my family. This is the way it's supposed to be.
Is it?
Okay? Well, because don't come for me, okay?
Nice.
Those sweet potatoes be hitting.
Bestie. We're going to have to talk.
Look, because if y'all don't have that at y'all dinner table during Thanksgiving, come on now. I know some of my people out there know what I'm talking about. I can't be the only one. Oh my gosh. Somebody in the chat said cranberry sauce. Now that is a must. But it's not as important as sweet potatoes.
No, am I host? I'm co-host. Let me remove. Dang, I can't remove.
Somebody.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeast rolls. Them yeast rolls be hitting.
Okay, yeah. I was just wondering what is a yeast roll, but I don't know. I know like Hawaiian rolls.
Yeah.
Miss Ray, we gotta pull that up.
Yeah. I don't like cranberry sauce, but I like cranberry juice. Yeah.
I'm the opposite.
I like cranberry sauce. It's not even a sauce though. It's like jelly, right?
Yeah, it's like jelly, like Jello.
Yeah. It's a texture thing for me. I can't get with it.
I don't know. It's for me, it's it's really the way the cranberry juice is kind of sort of like, I don't even know. It gives my teeth a weird, like, this is not for you.
Are you saying cranberry juice is bitter?
No, that's not bitter. It just doesn't, it just doesn't rock with my teeth. Like, it makes my teeth all gritty. Like, I don't like that. Any juice that gives your teeth like this gritty feeling, I can't do. This is yeast rolls, okay? Don't play with the yeast rolls.
Oh,
I don't know if the audience was talking about that pie that's pulled up right there at the side. But
it's not a pie, it's yeast rolls.
That's
we have all of these other ones, for example, too.
Okay, I've seen this before. It reminds me, yeah, I've had it. And I feel like this looks like something that's in Latin American culture too, but I don't necessarily know the name, like those sweetbreads and stuff.
Oh my gosh, these people in the chat over here, like, someone really going at it.
They just gave a whole recipe.
Oh yeah, she gave the recipe.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll put this in the archives, okay? And proprietary, you're gonna pay $10 per recipe, okay? Because the Lafi Lake Arbor Foundation, thank you so much. We are self-sponsored and we're looking for donations to continue these amazing conversations. conversations. Let's talk about dinner time conversations as we wrap up our episode.
Love how we just was shifting all around. I don't even think we got to everything we were supposed to be talking.
This is how we just shift. We shift on a dime. But conversations at the dinner table can tend to vary. And I know growing up, there was the kids' dinner table, and then there was the adults' dinner table. And so, how did you all feel about that? Do you felt like, what was the dynamic during dinner?
Look, you see, a lot of the times when that happened, I wound up with these little teeny tiny kids who wanted me to sit with them and who over here are just talking my head off. I mean, like, because my cousin is like 6, and then like some of my other cousins are like around that age, 7, 8, and then you got the kids who my age barely, because either they're older than me or like they're younger than me. So yeah. We don't always have a kids and adults dinner table. When we do, it's because sometimes it's like my people my age and the little kids. But there needs to be an in-between. There needs to be an adult table, a teen table, and a kids table. You feel me? Because I can't do that kids table anymore. I'm like 16 now, and them kids they took my head off.
Naya, you want a beginner, intermediate, and advanced table?
Yes.
You broke it down. Okay, so so how can you make it, I have to bring it back to something like constructive. So how can you make those opportunities times for you to connect with younger generations? Because teens, it's a weird age. I ain't even gonna lie. It's like this in-between space. You're not quite grown. You're definitely not a child anymore. But like, how can you, and maybe not necessarily in the Thanksgiving like conversation space, but this is a larger question. So if you don't have an answer, maybe we'll come back to it. But like, how can you as a teen serve as a middle space for helping the adults on this side understand where the younger kids are coming from like where you're at in your age range? I don't know if that question makes sense, but
yeah,
it does.
Can you like?
She's basically saying like, how can we get adults to understand the child's perspective? Okay.
Like the little kids or like the teens?
Both.
Yeah, because you all are in the middle, right? Like you said, you 16, you shouldn't sit at the kids' table. But if you're at the kids' table, like how can you serve as just like a vehicle to help the adults understand teens' perspective and the kids' perspective and vice versa?
Someone from the chat said, get in the kitchen, teenagers, and cook. No, I felt that too.
I was about to say that too.
I feel attacked. I literally feel attacked because if I wasn't in the kitchen being yelled at to cook, it was either I had to wash dishes or sweep or something. These gender roles are not it.
But then it's or is that you're not cooking it right, and then they literally standing right over you, and I'm just like, you just told me to cook it. Exactly. Now you're telling me I'm doing it wrong. Which one is it?
And then when I'm told I'm doing it wrong, they just take over the kitchen, and I have no opportunity to.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. So what I'm hearing, where's the mic? What I'm hearing, right, is we as adults, like if we are empowering you all to take the lead in the kitchen around something, using it as an opportunity for you all to learn, right? In the sense of saying, here you go, and then step away, versus in the examples that you shared.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the chat got me laughing.
Okay, but I will answer your question, Ms. Ray. So in an African household, like everyone is considered at the same level. Like everyone is pretty much, if you're at the children's table and you're 16, you're 5. Like you're left at that, like whoever's the youngest is the level at which you are at. So, even now, they're like, oh, you're a child, you don't understand. I don't understand. Like, I don't understand that concept. I really don't. Teens, someone in the chat said teens can sign up to be the entertainment.
I vote
Okay.
for that.
Yeah.
What do you mean by entertainment though? Are you saying like we should go around and dance, go
Yeah.
around
No,
and act?
again, okay. I think what I hear is being a part of something, like just like how we have roles, right? In for the podcast, roles are conducive to life. Everyone there is that's in order for things to function properly. So I think in terms of a leadership perspective, if you have something that you want to introduce to adults or whatever, like I think that could be a great space. Put on a skit. That would be fun to make it one, creating a new tradition as well. Because like I said in the beginning, I'm all about recreating and being rebellious and trying new things so that that also helps people to think differently. And especially as teens, if you're trying to get an adult to hear whatever you got to say, like meet them where they're at. And this is speaking from an adult, like if they're, expecting you to cook or whatever, like, all right, I'll cook, but maybe I'll try a different spin on the sweet potatoes. I'll use cinnamon instead of nutmeg or whatever.
If you do it the way they don't do it, it's automatically wrong, disqualified, get out the kitchen. That's exactly how it is. And I'm just like, you know what? It's either I take a step back or it just doesn't happen at all. Or like I let them partner with me and do it and they end up taking over, or it just doesn't happen. So I'm in the middle, and for the most part, I stay out of the kitchen because it's just a lot, way too much effort. But I have to learn how to cook one way or another.
Yeah.
Someone in the chat said start a conversation. And when it comes to starting a conversation with these little teeny tiny itty bitty children, it's about dolls. It's about their toys. It's about them telling their parents something. I don't know. It's like a random conversation, and it's very like, and they sit there and just talk, and you're just like, oh, you did that? And then you have to act like you're so into it. Like, oh my gosh, for real?
This is literally
y'all want to know a secret? That's sometimes how we adults feel. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm not saying all the time, but sometimes
that's how my mom feels.
What? But it's also again part of the thing is leadership is when you listen, you're listening, right? Because those are the things that matter to them at that age, right? Like, who am I to say X, Y? That's what they matter. So in order to influence people and get them to do what you want or get them on board, you have to listen, meet them where they're at, and then take them to a higher ground. So if you're trying to get somebody to do something, be so interested in their dolls. Ask them about, are you into Mattel or Bratz or LOL dolls? Ask them, and then, use it as a way to continue the conversation.
You know what happened this one time?
Mm-hmm.
I was at this one picnic with the whole family was there, and they had these little kids and they were running around with tablets and stuff. And then I wanted them to do something. So I was like, if you do this, I'll give you $1. And they were like, no, you're lying. And then they ran away. And I was like, dang, ankle biters. Anyway,
I love bribing kids. It's so much fun. Okay?
It doesn't work now.
No, but sometimes it does. If you be like, I promise, I really do. Like, I'll definitely give it to you. And then, like, especially when you give it to them, they be like quick to do something else. I'd be like, let me do this, because if that will make you do something, if me giving you $10 is gonna make you go outside and play around, then guess what? Guess who's gonna do it?
I mean, this is definitely a larger conversation we'll go back to in terms of like, how do you influence people, right? When you figure out what matters to them, what they value, you can get, again, I'm going to use that word very loosely, you can get people to do things that align with you. So you figure out maybe money is not their motivation. So you have to kind of know, even in working in groups at school, figuring out, which is hard, like what can get people to motivate when you're working as a team. If you're the team leader or you are the captain of the group and you don't want to do all the work alone, how do you find out what are the different motivations? So we digress, but this could be an opening for a future conversation. And I think a good time to just pivot and close out the show of gratitude, sharing one thing you're grateful for, and how that one thing has changed how you live life, or how you live. And so I'll go first. One thing that I am grateful for is you all. I'm grateful for teens because you all humble me a lot, and you show me that I don't have to be right all the time, which is a great thing. It relieves some of the pressure of feeling like I have to know everything. So I'm grateful for teens. I'm grateful for your honesty and your youth and your excitement and your enthusiasm about life.
I'm grateful for no more family Thanksgiving dinners. I'm just kidding. I'm actually thankful for surviving the pandemic, because it really put my life into perspective for a lot of different reasons. Like, even just staying home for that whole year and a half, it made me think of like who I am as a person. Like, it really made me sit down and recognize myself and what I liked and what I didn't like about myself. So I changed a lot of things, and I'm still in the process of like making differences. So I'm really thankful for that experience.
So for me, see, I can go down like a whole entire list, but like, I don't think we want this to go on for another like 5 hours. So I'm gonna like try to minimize it. So I'm thankful for, obviously, this podcast is like, I mean, it's something that like, I can do in my spare time. Also, like, talking to people is actually really fun, and talking about different like topics, and like the fact that I actually feel like I have more of a voice than like I usually do. So like being in different like little thingies, really like, oh, come talk about this, come do this. It never really gets out to the public. I feel like this goes out to the public. People are listening. People are actually listening. And then like I'm thankful for like my family, God, and just being able to have a Thanksgiving. Also for surviving Corona, because like it just really puts in perspective how like I learned about the Spanish flu and like what was that, 7th grade, and like how all those people died and like how rough they had it. And back then they didn't even really have that many doctors and stuff that could actually like help them and get them to where they needed to be. And there's probably way more deaths than, actually I don't know the statistics. I'm not gonna say that. But it just puts this perspective on how they felt and how like it was in the struggle of actually getting through something and being able to survive it. And kind of reminds me of a game. I don't know why, but it does. But I'm just thankful for everything.
Yes. And we're thankful for you as well, Nae. Thankful for you, Aisha. Thankful for all of our past co-hosts who have transitioned into different things. Grateful for the time investment that you all have invested into this space, and grateful for the Lake Arbor Foundation for creating this space for us. Without you all, this would be impossible. So thank you all for listening tonight. This episode will be posted in the next few days by the weekend on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, everywhere where podcasts and videos are streamed. We do have a very big YouTube channel where we've had lots of shorts as well. So if you don't feel like listening to the whole 30-minute podcast, check out a short 2 to 3 minute clip so you can get some of the highlights and check us out. Our next episode will be on Thursday, December 9th at our usual 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So enjoy your holiday, celebrate, be grateful, and we will see you next time. Have a beautiful evening, everybody.
Bye, everyone.